You are living in a wondrous age in which the illusion is already starting to dissolve. October 4, 2015. Here in the spiritual realms we are cheering you, humanity, onwards towards your inevitable awakening into your natural, fully conscious state where the energy field of love, the life force, maintains you eternally alive, vibrant, joyful, and creatively motivated in every moment. That state is the only state in which existence occurs. It is reality, your permanent presence in the presence of God, oneness with God in everlasting joy. There is nowhere else, there is only that infinite state of being one with God, where separation and the illusion it maintains, with all its suffering, sickness, scarcity, competition, and war, are unknown because they are unreal. Within the illusion, where humanity experiences life as a constant struggle against seemingly overwhelming odds, just in order to survive, the concept of a state of perpetual peace, joy, and love, seems insane, impossible, a wild dream that can never be realized. We, of course, keep telling you that this is not the case, that there is nothing but reality, and deep within yourselves you know that this is true. That is why you have such powerful yearnings for something far better than the life you are undergoing. Those yearnings are the result of extremely brief flashes of memory of the intense joy of life in the eternal presence of God, flashes so brief that you often wonder if they are real. They are, but they have to be very brief because their energy for more than the briefest instant would overwhelm your physical forms. Of course you have never left God's presence. There is nowhere to go. However, you did build the illusion and immerse yourselves in it, making it appear very real, and since that moment, which truly occurred but a moment ago, you have been seeking the way home to reality, yearning to find the Holy Grail, the end of the rainbow, your soulmate, in fact the love that is God. Well, as we have so often told you, you are already there, never having left, and your only task is to awaken from the deep sleep in which all the horrific events of life on earth seem to be taking place. That task means letting go of all that you have built into your environment to protect you from love. All defenses, all barriers, psychological or physical, and the weapons you have invented and built to support them, need to be taken down and discarded. You are all afraid of love. It appears to you to be a limitless commitment to give endlessly to others while depriving yourselves of anything you might value, including your lives, in a meaningless altruistic sacrifice. This extreme misconception is a major aspect of the illusion, and has, over the eons, terrified you into rejecting love in favor of self-centered ambition that you hope will satisfactorily replace the irreplaceable love. There is only love, it is offered to you in every moment, but you are mostly unable to receive or accept it, because you are clinging so tightly to all that is alien to it. If you would allow your hearts to open to receive it, all your fears and anxieties would dissolve, and instantly you would see that defenses of any kind and in any circumstances are utterly insane. However, within the illusion you have been trained to be suspicious, to view others as possible enemies, and so you expect to encounter enemies, and, miraculously, they appear. The only way out of this intolerable situation is to expect to meet friends and to offer only love to all with whom you interact. And that is difficult for you because, within the illusion, every culture and many religions believe that that is an insane way to behave. They then attempt to prove the insanity of it by pointing to the ever-ongoing wars and conflicts in which humanity has been engaged since the beginning of time. But the insanity is the expectation of betrayal, conflict, war, and therefore seemingly essential need for weapons and defenses. Distrust breeds distrust, and your task in awakening is to let go of distrust and offer only love. Some of you are already doing this and finding that it works. Love flows and envelops all in its path, and all you have to do is to allow it to flow through you. The free flow of love is a grassroots movement. It cannot start at the top with worldly leaders of any kind, political, commercial, national, ethnic, or religious, because all those leaders are in truth followers, desperately attempting to ascertain the mood and wishes of those they purportedly lead, so that they can appear before them in a favorable light and maintain their privileged positions. And of course most of humanity has, over the eons, been well trained to be suitably subservient to these leaders, enabling these chosen or just lucky ones to remain in power. The secret to maintaining power is to convince those beneath that there is a threat from enemies in other cultures or nations, and that only they, the ones in power, can do an adequate job of providing protection from these perceived enemies. Sometimes it seems that a more moderate and honest candidate for high office might do a better job, and elections are held in the hope of finding a new and suitable leader. But the system is designed to disable anyone who, on getting into a position of authority, appears to be making progress towards peace and trust. Change starts at the grassroots level, that is one person at a time. It may sound a little optimistic to expect that sort of change to make any real impression across the world, but, as you are well aware, there have been a number of successful grassroots movements over the last few decades that have succeeded in achieving their most admirable goals. And all of them were initially guided by love. However, success often led to arrogance, negative judgments, and then to internal disagreements after the fact, and many of these movements disbanded or disintegrated. But the members of many of these movements were changed as a result of their successes, and they realized that love and cooperation were the only meaningful ways forward. They have not changed their minds, and many of them are today very actively promoting peaceful, respectful, listening to divergent viewpoints, having realized that there are always points of agreement, and that all basically want peaceful solutions to the issues with which they are dealing, solutions which make each side a winner. At the grassroots level, a refusal to engage in combat would result in the suspension of military engagements, and I can assure you that there are powerful movements in many parts of the world working most effectively towards this end. What you see and hear in the mainstream media are heavily censored reports that leave out all that would inspire and uplift you, as their intent is to maintain or intensify the level of fear that various governments depend on for their survival. But these grassroots movements working for peace and respect for all of humanity are growing in strength and effectiveness all over the world, very much helped by the prayers, meditations, and loving intentions of you light bearers and light workers, and by us as we too offer assistance and encouragement to all from here in the spiritual realms. The divine plan is for humanity to awaken, and absolutely nothing can prevent that from occurring. You are living in a wondrous age in which the illusion is already starting to dissolve, so keep on taking time out daily to enter your inner sanctuary to ask for guidance, assistance, and a love squeeze. I assure you that we will respond to each of you as you do so, because what you are doing is an essential aspect of this divine plan as it nears completion. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com